Hey movie fans, so we're all big fans of Disney here, and if you're not, why are you here? Because everyone loves Disney. Come on man, get your life together. But Disney's had a long and illustrious career, but what are the shining examples? What are the best moments of Disney? Well, that's what we're going to count down today. The top 5 most iconic moments from Disney. Now this could range from anything, live action to animation, anywhere in between, if there is anything in between, but we're going to count them all down, the top 5 most iconic Disney moments of all time. Starting us off, we have a scene from Sleeping Beauty. Now, you may argue that Cinderella is a more famous movie and even more famous character, but when you actually think about it, name the most famous scene from Cinderella and name the most famous scene from Sleeping Beauty. Cinderella, there's a plethora of famous scenes, but none of them are nearly as iconic as the waking up scene from Sleeping Beauty. When Prince Charming, or does he have a real name? Answer in the comments what the prince's name from Sleeping Beauty actually is, because her name's actually Aurora, which I didn't even realize that till I got older, but her name's Aurora, I guess. Comment his name. But when he finally reaches her after slaying the great dragon, which that's a fantastic scene in and of itself, when he finally reaches her and kisses her and wakes her up from her comatose state. This is one of the most iconic, fairy tale scenes in all of Disney's history, which is saying something because there's a lot of fairy tale scenes in Disney's history to pick from, but this one I definitely would say is the most iconic, even more so than the happy ending in Cinderella, which is famous in its own right, but not nearly to the iconic status that is Sleeping Beauty. At number 4, we go with another romantic scene because it's Disney. You gotta have that because Disney's just known for its romance. This one we move away from humans to dogs. The spaghetti scene from Lady and the Tramp. That's just famous. You see that everywhere. It's reenacted and parodied time and time again because it works. It's adorable. It's 2 little dogs sharing spaghetti. Who thinks of that? Disney does, I guess. And it just works. It's really simple, to the point, and it shows the first date jitters that pretty much everybody has at some point, and it's really, really cute, gets to the point. Now, I'm not a huge Lady and the Tramp fan, but there's no denying that this is an absolutely iconic scene, and it needs to be on this list at some point, so it's happily on number 4 for most iconic movie scenes in all time when it comes to Disney. At number 3, we have a personal favorite of mine with Toy Story, the finale to Toy Story. This isn't flying, it's falling, in style. This is iconic because it's really the most memorable scene from Toy Story, which in and of itself is incredibly memorable. Not just because it was my first movie in the theater, fun fact for you, but it was also the first 3D animated movie that Disney had ever done. Them and Pixar revolutionized film forever. It was a completely different type of movie. It's made by computers, not hand-drawn animators, so it changed the landscape not just for Disney, but for greater film in and of itself. There's some great scenes to pick from of, you are a sad, strange little man. That's great. Buzz flying around the room. Woody seeing Buzz for the first time on the bed going Superman-esque, I guess. To me, there's no more iconic scene in all of Toy Story, maybe even in the entire Toy Story franchise, than the not flying, falling in style scene with Buzz and Woody, now good friends after their really interesting and tumultuous journey to become best friends, flying hand in hand together as they cruise back to safety with Andy and his family. I love Toy Story, and this is a major reason why this scene is fantastic and is the definition of Disney iconic. At number 2, we have the thing that all fathers did to their kids in the 90s. We have the scene from Lion King, The Circle of Life. If your dad did not raise you above his head like Simba, really, I'm pretty sure he did at least once and didn't tell you, or he probably did tell you repeatedly. Thanks, Dad. You make me proud. Circle of Life, by far, is one of Disney's most iconic scenes. It's those words that no one really knows what they're saying, so everyone has their own different interpretation, and they all pretend they can sing along and understand what it means, but we all nod and just go, we think we know what's going on, but we really don't. This beautiful animation, you see Zazu fly over the horizon and see this great expanse of animals. It really ushered in the Disney Renaissance. After Disney had this lull in the 70s and 80s, it was back with a vengeance with great animation, great storytelling, and fantastic music. It's all of Lion King can really be summed up in that Circle of Life scene. It's fantastic. It really is iconic. as is the entire movie, but that one scene in particular stands head and shoulders above the rest. So what is the most iconic Disney moment of all time? Well, you gotta go way, way back to the very beginning. That's a very good place to start. You gotta go all the way back to Steamboat Willie. You know which scene I'm talking about. The whistling Mickey Mouse. The first music we ever heard. The first music and voices we ever heard in a cartoon. This just tore down all kinds of barriers when it comes to animation. It completely changed the game for film and for Disney, who was a little bit hard-pressed on his luck after the Oswald incident. If you don't know what that is, just look it up. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. The whole story behind that is interesting in and of itself. But Disney really needed a big comeback after losing Oswald. And Mickey Mouse, I don't know whatever happened. I don't know if Mickey Mouse ever panned out. I think he did. I think he became popular. Maybe? Nah, maybe. But Steamboat Willie still stands the test of time, and watching it today, it's still a very good and entertaining cartoon that blows me away of, wow, what the animators could do this many years ago? That's just amazing. Without Steamboat Willie, there is no Disney. There wouldn't be, I can't even imagine. There would really be a completely different landscape to the world of movies without Steamboat Willie, and thus, it's easily the most iconic Disney moment of all time. What do you guys think? What are the most iconic Disney moments of all time? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like what you see and want to see more, subscribe to the channel, or find me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at 17 Movie Reviews. Stay sharp, movie guys and gals!